Are there members that do things that maybe, I don't approve of? Yeah, okay, there is.
Welcome everyone to Discover This, and welcome back. Today we're going to talk about the life of Mongols member Ray Waldren, or at least the part of his life that got him 175 years in prison. So let's go where this story starts. And the story begins here at Kelly's Pub, 719 East Bradley Avenue in the unincorporated portion of El Cajon, California. In the early morning hours of September 27th, 2003, David Florentine, known as LJ to some, was leaving this bar with a couple of his friends. The head of security for Kelly's Pub was walking with them. Now, there's been some articles and stuff that said David Florentine was the doorman or the bouncer at Kelly's Pub, and he may or may not have been, but he certainly wasn't working that night or early morning, like 12:30 in the morning. He had been drinking beers with some of his friends. As they got out into the parking lot and they're walking towards their car, they noticed that a group of Mongols MC members and associates were walking up the driveway, this driveway right here. And as they got closer, the security guy told the Mongols they had to take off their cuts and colors before going into the bar, and that started an argument. Now there were a few full patch Mongols in the group, and there were also some associates, wearing black and white. So while they were arguing with the security guy, one of the full patch Mongols members, a guy by the name of William Pike, recognized David Florentine. So David Florentine was a Hells Angels associate, not a member or a prospect, but someone who associated with the Hells Angels and wore support clothing, red and white stuff, that kind of thing. As Florentine and the Mongols member Pike got into a heated argument, one of the other full patch Mongols members, a guy by the name of Ray Waldren, pulled a .45 caliber gun from his waistband and shot David Florentine 5 times, killing him. He also shot one of Florentine's friends in the leg, wounding that man. The Mongols and their associates all then fled the scene. Police were called and found David Florentine dead, a folded pocket knife in his hand. And they found his friend wounded. Now this was at a time that the Mongols and Hells Angels were really going at it. Lots of violence, shootings, stabbings, killings. Remember that deadly shooting at Harrah's in Laughlin, Nevada happened just a year earlier. Now Kelly's Pub is not a biker bar. However, both the Hells Angels and their associates and the Mongols and their associates would frequent this establishment, although not necessarily at the same time.
On the streets, it's all about respect, okay, and lack of. Okay, if you feel disrespected, you're going to take up arms or whatever you have to do to gain that respect. Okay, almost immediately, you got to take up a weapon. There's just no way around it. It's survival.
So who's Ray Waldren? Well, he was known to his Mongols MC brothers as Ray Dawg. In 1994, Ray Waldren was convicted in Riverside County for robbery, where he used a sawed-off shotgun. In 1997, Waldron was convicted of terrorist hate crimes for attacking a black person with a knife. At some point, Waldron became a member of the Nazi Lowriders prison gang, a white supremacist gang affiliated with the Aryan Brotherhood. Now, if you know about the Nazi Lowriders, then you know they started in the California Youth Authority in the mid-70s as a gang for white young inmates. In the 70s and 80s, the Aryan Brotherhood started recruiting these gang members, particularly at a youth correctional facility in Ione, California, to act as middlemen for the Aryan Brotherhood criminal endeavors. Now, the Nazi lowriders are in prison, and some are out on the street putting in work for the Aryan Brotherhood. Ray Waldron was validated as a Nazi lowrider by the California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation based on his Nazi lowrider tattoos and his associations. Ray Waldron admits to being a Nazi lowrider member. Sometime around 1998-1999, Ray Waldron also became a full-patch member of the Mongols MC in San Diego. Ray Waldron and William Pike fled San Diego County, and they were found by law enforcement in the middle of October in the City of Industry in Los Angeles County. Both were arrested. Waldron was arrested and charged with murder, attempted murder, assault with a deadly weapon, and some drug offenses. Pike was arrested for being an accessory. So Ray Waldron got to court here in El Cajon, California for the start of his trial. And old Ray Dawg cleaned up for court, as I'm sure he was told to do by his attorney. However, at the end of the trial, Ray Waldron was found guilty of first-degree murder, attempted first-degree murder, assault with a firearm, and being a felon in possession of a firearm. He was also found guilty of California Penal Code 186.22, the state's gang enhancement. This was because it was found true that these crimes were committed to benefit a criminal street gang as defined by 186.22.
When I took the club over, it was known as an East LA club. You know, they want to call it a gang, but it's a club. An East LA club.
Ray Waldron was sentenced to 175 years to life, plus 3 years. He filed some appeals, but to no avail. The initial verdicts and judgment were affirmed. Ray Waldron was initially sent to Pelican Bay in Crescent City, California, where many prison gang and street gang members were housed for many years. You know, the Aryan Brotherhood, Mexican Mafia, Nazi lowriders, and a bunch of others. This was maximum high security, with inmates only being allowed outside for 1 hour a day. Years ago, the state started moving these high security inmates to other facilities, sometimes into the general population. Currently, Ray Waldron is being housed at the Correctional Training Facility in Soledad, California. Now, as of late 2023, this is one of the prisons that California has listed for closing. Ray Waldron is eligible for his first parole hearing in October of 2034. Well, that's going to do it, ladies and gentlemen, for this story about Mongols member Ray Waldron and how he got to get 175 years to life in prison. Now, if you've heard the name of William Pike before, his partner in this little crime, or the accessory is what the government called it. If you've read any of the Mongols books and stuff, you may have seen the name William Pike before. William Pike's father was a Mongols member. William Pike became a Mongols member. And William Pike ended up being part of the Operation Black Rain case that ATF did in the mid-2000s. So you may have seen the name there, but another San Diego Mongols member. So I appreciate you watching this video. I appreciate you taking the time, and I hope you check out the other videos, and we will see you next time on Discover This.